Great rise and beautiful natural beings. Great rise and beautiful beings. Let's talk a second. Let's talk about the melanated man calling. But since I'm from the United States, I'm from the Americas, let's just focus on America. And since I'm a melanated indigenous woman, let's just focus on people that resemble me. Now, the melanated man calling, okay? They have been calling people for a very long time, okay? But for some reason, humanity continues to bounce back. But we must talk about the melanated man in the United States. We have same-sex agenda. We have prison. We have death. We have the music industry and the movie and social media industry who target weak minds into killing their own reflection, okay? Hate, through insecurities, right? So we got the same-sex agenda, prisons, death, and the mind manipulation agendas, right? When you reflect, they are going to do a mass culling that they're already doing. They have biogenetic weapons through food, air, water that attack the reproductive system. And they have voluntary and involuntary medical things going on, okay? Jabberwockies and stuff like that, right? Now, they've been attacking a broad spectrum of all of humanity, but we're just going to focus on this one. The melanated men that have survived this pandemic, the melanated women that survived as well, but we're focused on the melanated man. You know, all the billboards are convincing everybody to do interracial dating. And the reason why you have to do interracial dating at this point is because, I'm not saying you have to, I'm just saying the agenda at this point is because the firmware and the software in your opposite counterpart is going to govern and control you and manipulate you and feed off you and loose you and everything else, right? They will never see the agenda as, I must protect you. They're there to oversee you in the flesh. They're there to merge their DNA with your DNA, hoping that it overrides it. So when the child is born, they'll try to use hive mind techniques to make sure that child can be activated easier and also protected from the weather and nature and the sun through our genetics, okay? But the main goal is to make sure the hive mind parasite and the neuromonitoring and all the biogenetic coding can be useful within the vessel. So, to all the melanated men that are not willing to comply with this new agenda, they're going to come up with a way to cull. That's why they need the woman to be independent, strong, by her lonesome, by herself, she needs to be vulnerable and exposed to the agenda and separate from her melanated counterpart so that she can be saved by the hive mind parasite, okay? So if the man, the melanated man, if he doesn't group up with his other melanated, conscious, and aware men, other males, he's going to have major issues because they don't mind picking you off one by one through same sex, prison, death, and social media agendas, okay? They will push the narrative until they break you, okay? And then if they don't break you, they will put you in a mental state of docile to the point where all you want to do is stay at home, go to work, or thug it out, whatever way you're going to do it, okay? But they're going to push you to the point where you don't see any interest in the melanated woman, and her savior is going to be the most dominant ambassador or the most dominant race on the planet. Straight up, okay? And as much conflict and that I have with melanated men where we don't agree to disagree, we don't see things like mine or common on common grounds, anything is possible these days, okay? Anything is possible. And to the hive mind men, the ones that are one race, one pure race, which is never pure, but the purest of their purest, if they can't get you, they'll send their offsprings to you. Oh, you need you a yellow guy with curly hair? They'll send that hive mind to you, the ones they're trying to create. Okay? I just thought that melanated men should understand the culling is happening day after day. It never stops. Their premeditated programming, they're premeditating what to do with you because they need the mitochondria DNA to merge with their species. And if you're not willing to agree to disagree and humble down and try to explain this to your melanated counterpart, the other female, the other woman, you'll soon realize that your standards were flawed and your standards was against creation. Okay? Never mind how they brainwash us to be independent. Like, why would an independent woman be such a threat in the first place? She doesn't have to be independent if she's able to sit at home with the child and take care of the child. First, you got to live within your means, okay? So you can't be renting things where you can't handle all the bills. You can't be purchasing things where you can't handle all the bills. And you can't be purchasing things where she got to go to work to pull her weight. You're already going against nature, period. So, here we go. Understand that the melanated man culling has already started back during indigent servant in the indigent servant era, okay? And I'm just only referring to the United States and the Americas. And now it's up to you to realize that and take account, because you're going to have more and more melanated indigenous American women step outside of their category, step outside of their race. And it's all by design. It's all through programming, okay? But at the same time, it's in full effect. It's happening. And if people just don't get in their means and say, you know what, I don't care if we just got to be roommates. You need to find a partner, okay? Every melanated man and every melanated woman in the United States need to find a partner. You don't have to be married. You don't have to have sex. Right now, no man and no woman should be by herself. There is no time for this. If you decide that y'all don't want to be together, y'all should still figure out a way to be roommates. It's not a time to be alone. It's not a time to be separated, segregated in any form or fashion. And just so happen, to the men and women who have hot heads and don't want to deal with bull crap, it may be time that you partner up with your same sex, because right now is not the time to be caught slipping and alone. It's not the time. You're going to have to figure out how to get along. You're going to have to, because once they separate us indefinitely, and once they have us with our minds made up that our opposite counterparts have scorned us, portrayed us, bullshitted us to the point that we don't want to reach out and unite, that is going to be the point where we're going to be the most vulnerable and most susceptible to any plan and agenda that they have in store for us. So know that the melanated culling of the masculine man is already in full effect, been in full effect, and it's up to you to finally say, you know what, let's just be roommates, let's just be partners. We don't have to worry about the children and marry, but you do not, as of now, want to represent yourself as single, solo, independent, with no community. Right now, you gotta have a community, and it needs to be people that think exactly like you. Not too quick to fall for the illusion, the program, and the propaganda. I've actually reached out to people on my channel for several years now. Permanent contact, less than 2 hands. And then, I'm not perfect, but we're not even living up to what we're supposed to exactly live up to. Okay? So just know there's not going to be a God or some energy come save you. Now, what will happen, the planet will get pissed off at these parasites and will purge the planet. But when it comes down to us, we are like the cancers on the planet. We're disturbing the planet. The planet just want to flow naturally, but we're damming her up, terraforming her, making her do things the opposite of what she would normally do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just over it. I just know this masculine melanated culling is about to take full effect. They're already 38 to 45 and 50 and can't get a hard on. Sperm count off. No electricity. Can't procreate. And then the woman, bless her heart, that's including me, She can't procreate. Okay? So just be mindful. This melanated culling is something serious. And who don't bow down to their agendas, you're their number one person to pick off as soon as possible. So there we have it. Unearth the magic. The truth will definitely set you free.